People of the internet! Let's get some insight, of course, with a little bit more detail as to what's happening with these tariffs. This comes from NBC News, entitled Trump Unveils Sweeping New Tariff Plan and When It Will Go Into Effect.
Just minutes after the day's market close, President Trump walking into the Rose Garden.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day.
Announcing a new 10% tariff on every American trading partner. But that's not all.
China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA. So we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%.
The U.S. will also now charge half the tax on foreign goods that dozens of countries charge on American products to level the playing field, he says.
This is not full reciprocal. This is kind reciprocal. If they complain, if you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America.
The president saying he's fulfilling a key campaign promise.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
The White House touting hundreds of billions of dollars in new investment in the U.S. from companies looking to avoid tariffs, including Hyundai announcing a $5 billion steel plant in Louisiana, and Apple saying it will create 20,000 jobs, expanding U.S. facilities. All after the president previously announced 20% tariffs on Chinese imports, 25% on aluminum and steel, and 25% on certain goods from Mexico and Canada. Starting tomorrow, he'll also impose 25% tariffs on imported cars. Tariffs, a policy Trump has promoted for decades, saying free trade deals destroyed American workers.
They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies.
Democrats now furious.
This is not Liberation Day, it's Recession Day.
Some Republicans are worried.
Our consumers, our manufacturers, our potato farmers will pay the price.
Economists estimate the tariffs could add an extra $2,500 to $5,000 for the lowest cost American cars and up to $20,000 for some imported models.
What would you say to Americans who worry that they'll have to pay more in the short term?
Well, I'm not sure why they would have to pay more in the short term. That we don't know what the price effects are going to be. You know, will there be a one-time price adjustment? Could be.
Stephen Capone's steel company employs 100 people in Massachusetts. He strongly supports Trump's tariffs to stop Canadian competition from decimating his business.
Since NAFTA, I've seen Canada, Quebec in particular, just keep getting stronger and stronger as the New England steel industry has, dwindled away.
Jenna Dick runs a bridal shop in Kansas. She says the vast majority of wedding gowns are made in China, meaning tariffs hit hard.
It'll raise costs for myself and for our clients because we do have to pass some of that on to them.
And Gabe, it looks like the president pulled his punch a little bit, making an adjustment going smaller on some of those tariffs than he originally indicated.
Yes, Lester, the president had repeatedly said the tariffs would be completely reciprocal, and he's gotten a lot of criticism over those plans. Now he'll only charge half of what other countries tax the U.S. One White House official saying, quote, the president is lenient and he wants to be kind to the world. Lester.
All right, Gabe Gutierrez at the White House.
Let's pause right there. Okay, so now that I've watched that and I'm a little bit more knowledgeable in this whole situation, folks, these people are going to do what they want to do, and we have to deal with it. That's the only thing I can honestly say in terms of words of solace, right? To make you feel a little bit better. And people will rebuttal and say, oh, you see, you don't vote. I think this was going to happen regardless, man. Sometimes I don't want to even go down that right now because I do plan to upload this to YouTube, so. Bruh, it makes you feel small. Let me speak for myself. It makes me feel small. It's just like, what can I do? Now, of course, you saw in the clip there, they're saying, oh, well, we don't necessarily know how exactly, this is going to affect us. If it's going to be, large lump sums we're going to be seeing out the forefront. Is this something that's going to trickle in growth as, the time progresses? Of course, you saw that clip that they showed there as well, too, of Trump back in the day saying this was something that he always wanted to do as well, too. Well, before he had anything to do with politics, Trump felt that, the imports and that from other countries was too much. And he wants to start bringing things within the United States. Is it such a crime that we have manufacturers for other places in other countries. There's other dudes talking about, oh man, yeah, you know, competition with, you know, Canada, whatever the case is. This is bad for, this is like, everybody, it's just like, it comes down to money at the end of, all I'm hearing is money, money, money. And power. That's all I hear. Money and power. Who could do what could do who could do who. And as if, you know, it's not bad enough already, this is only going to affect the little guys to the most part. Yeah, business owners, this, that, and the other. Of course, these manufacturing companies, the imports, you know, goods coming in and out. I get all of that, bro. But I'm saying, like, all I'm hearing is money and power. That's all I'm hearing. People will say, oh, well, vote correctly, man. Go down to your office and vote. Does it look like your vote has anything to do with this? Some people will say, yeah, man. Yeah. Do you think when all this was happening, when Trump and all of them were talking, do you think they, well, let me consider the civilians. They're not worried about you. Deal with it. That's what they're telling you. Deal with it. Some people say this is a good thing. Some people say this is a bad thing. They're telling you to deal with it. We're going to keep making the rules. You guys deal with it. That's why I don't really, what are you going to do? And again, maybe it's easier to say now because we don't feel the effects of it just yet. But keep walking into your grocery stores. Keep going to your mechanics. Keep, you know, whatever the case is. All the fields that they said this was going to affect the most. We'll probably see that in the long haul. Maybe it'll trickle down. So the business owners, all the people that do have international trade, this, that, and the other, then the little guys, us at the bottom, I think everybody's going to feel it. But all I hear is money and power. That's all I hear. I don't hear any solutions for the little guys. I don't hear any, oh, you know, this is Trump. You heard it there. They said this is Trump calling himself lenient. This was leniency. He displayed leniency with these numbers. I don't do politics, folks. I'm not an economist, I guess you could say as well, too. So people would probably say, oh, see, so don't speak on what you don't know, bro. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm not saying any of this is fact. I'm just watching the same clip that you just watched here as well, too. Again, that video came from NBC. I'm watching the same clip you just watched, folks. It says here, of course, entitled Trump Unveils Sweeping New Tariff Plan and When It Will Go into Effect. This is effective immediately. As at the time we recorded this, it'll be ready to go today, tomorrow. Of course, as they said tomorrow, this video just came out maybe an hour ago. So, folks, money and power is all I'm hearing. That's all I hear. Money and power. I'm not hearing anything else. Money and power, greed, as it's always been. Nothing new. But hey, that's just my take. You're free to believe what you believe. If you believe that your vote could maybe impact the results of this, keep voting. If you believe, oh, you know, this is only going to affect this, that, whatever the case is, it's just like, fend for yourself is basically what I'm kind of saying as well, too. Like, you got to fend for yourself. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save us, bro. Like, I don't feel like you're just going to have to figure it out. As sad as that might sound, we're just going to have to figure it out, bro. Tariffs and this, that, and exports and imports increasing by 25% in Canada and China and this, that. But none of that makes me feel like they're taking us into consideration at all. At all. But I don't know. That's just me.